Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, when did my clothes stop matching the woman I feel like inside? Most people say, just dress your age, but what if I told you that's the worst advice ever? Because sometimes, dressing your age doesn't make you look graceful, it just makes you invisible. I've met women in their 60s and 70s who look more alive than ever, not because they chase trends, but because they've learned how to choose intelligent pieces that bring light back to their face, movement to their body, and confidence to their energy. And yet, I've also met others who slowly faded behind dark fabrics, stiff collars, and the old belief that elegance belongs only to the young. But here's the truth, age doesn't dull your beauty, wrong choices do. Today's video isn't about pretending to be younger. It's about rediscovering the woman you already are, radiant, wise, and beautifully alive. Together, we'll explore 8 timeless blouses that have the power to soften, illuminate, and lift your entire presence, without surgery, without filters, and without pretending. Each blouse you'll see today isn't just a piece of fabric, it's a reminder that elegance isn't lost with time. It's refined by it. When you understand how light, cut, and flow work with your natural grace, you don't just look different, you feel unstoppable. And before we dive in, if this topic speaks to you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Healthwise for Seniors. Your support is what keeps us creating videos that help women everywhere feel more beautiful, more confident, and more themselves every single day. Now, let's begin with the first blouse, and watch how a little light and fabric can bring your whole face to life. 1. Silk, when light touches your skin. You know what I've realized? After 60, our skin changes, it becomes softer, thinner, a little more honest, and that's actually beautiful. But what most women don't realize is that the fabric you wear can either fight against that softness or celebrate it. That's why silk, or a soft satin, is pure magic. When light touches silk, it doesn't just shine. It glows back at you. It gives the kind of gentle reflection that makes your skin look radiant, like you just came back from a long walk by the sea. It's almost like silk has manners, it doesn't shout for attention. It whispers, it moves, it follows your rhythm. And the way it flows around your body? It hides the parts you don't want to highlight and softly defines the parts that make you feel graceful again. My friend Ellen, she's 71. Silver hair, warm smile. She used to say she avoided anything shiny because she thought it drew attention to her wrinkles. Then one day, I convinced her to try this soft, matte silk blouse in a pale champagne color. The moment she put it on, her whole face lit up. She looked at herself and said, "Oh, I look alive." That's what silk does. It doesn't try to make you look younger, it makes you look more present. More you. If you ever stand by a window in the afternoon sun, just hold a piece of silk near your face. See how it reflects that light. That's the same glow people notice when you walk into a room wearing it. Not fashion glow, human glow. So when you're choosing your next blouse, don't think of silk as fancy. Think of it as forgiving. It forgives the years, the lines, the little stories your body now tells, and turns them into poetry. And that, my friend, is what real style does. It doesn't erase your past. It lets it shimmer softly in the light. 2. The V-neck, a line of light down the heart. You know what the V-neck really does? It's not about showing skin, it's about showing spirit. When you wear a V-neck, the eye naturally moves upward, right toward your face, where your real light lives. It draws a soft, invisible line of confidence straight down the center of your chest, like a quiet reminder. Stand tall, open up, you've earned your space. After 60, posture is everything. We don't realize how often we start folding in on ourselves, crossing our arms, hunching just a little, as if to take up less room in the world. But a simple neckline can change that energy. The V shape opens the body and tells the mind, lift your chin, shoulders back, you belong here. My neighbor Judy, she's 68. A retired art teacher with the brightest laugh, used to wear only crew necks. She said V-necks felt too open. One afternoon, I brought her this soft lilac V-neck top. Not too deep, just gently shaped. When she tried it on, she looked at me in the mirror and said, "Oh wow, I look taller, lighter, happier." And she was right, she didn't just look it. She felt it. That's the secret of the V-neck. It doesn't demand attention, it redirects it. It takes the focus away from what you want to hide and sends it right back to your eyes. Your smile, your presence. If you've ever felt like your energy sits too low, try a V-neck. Stand in front of the mirror. Breathe in, let your shoulders drop, and you'll see it. That graceful vertical line leading the light straight to your heart. It's not about showing more. It's about showing up more. And sometimes, that little V is all it takes to remember who you've always been. Strong, open, and beautifully alive. 3. The 3/4 sleeve, the quiet grace of ease. There's something magical about that in-between length. Not long, not short, just right. The 3/4 sleeve does something special, it reveals just enough. It lets the light touch your wrists. The most honest part of a woman's body. That little bit of skin. Those faint lines and veins, they're not flaws. They're proof of all the things your hands have done. The hugs, the meals, the gardens, the late-night letters, the lives you've held. I remember my friend Margaret. She's 72 and never leaves the house without a bracelet her husband gave her decades ago. She used to wear long sleeves all the time, thinking her arms were too soft now. One day I told her, "Just try something lighter, let the breeze see you." She laughed, put on a soft linen blouse with 3/4 sleeves, and something changed. Her shoulders dropped. She started moving differently, freer. Like her body was breathing again. That's what this sleeve length does. It balances comfort and confidence. It gives your body space to move, and your spirit room to glow. So next time you slip on a blouse, roll those sleeves up a little. Let the light catch your wrist. Let the world see the woman who's lived, and still chooses to live beautifully. Because grace, at our age, isn't about hiding what's changed. It's about celebrating what's real. 4. The white shirt. Truth doesn't need makeup. You know what I love about a white shirt? It never tries too hard. It's the most honest thing in your closet, simple, clean, unpretentious. White isn't just a color. It's light. It reflects whatever you bring to it, your mood, your energy, your day. When you put on a white shirt, you're not hiding behind fashion, you're standing in your own truth. After 60, we don't need sequins or sparkles to shine. We already have our glow, it just comes from the inside now. And that's what the right white shirt does, it mirrors that inner light. It softens the lines around your face, brightens your skin, and says, "I'm here, and I'm comfortable in my own story." My friend Carol, 69, retired journalist, quick wit, big heart, she told me once. I used to save my white shirts for special occasions. Then I realized, every day is special when you wake up still curious about life. Now she wears them with jeans, pearls, sneakers, even barefoot in her garden. And she looks radiant, not dressed up, just right. That's the power of a well-cut white shirt. It doesn't decorate you, it defines you. It's not about looking perfect, it's about being real. You can tuck it in, roll up the sleeves, add a scarf, but it always whispers the same thing. You don't need more, you just need you. So if you ever stand in front of your closet unsure of what to wear, reach for that white shirt. Because sometimes, elegance isn't about adding anything. It's about letting who you are shine through the simplest things. 5. The delicate floral, memories still blooming on fabric. There's something so tender about a small floral print, isn't there? Tiny petals scattered across soft fabric, like little echoes of moments that never quite faded. Every flower feels like a memory stitched in pastel thread. A Sunday afternoon. A laugh that stayed in the air a little longer. The scent of your first garden. Or the dress you wore when you danced barefoot on the grass. That's what delicate florals do, they don't shout, "Look at me." They whisper, "Remember me." My friend Linda, she's 70. An old soul with the gentlest heart, told me she stopped wearing florals for years. She said, I didn't want to look sweet. But one day, she tried on this blouse, ivory background, tiny blush flowers, and her face softened. She looked at herself and said, almost surprised, this feels like me again. And I knew exactly what she meant. Floral prints have this quiet way of bringing us back, not to being young, but to feeling alive. They remind us that gentleness is still powerful, that softness doesn't mean weakness, and that beauty never asks for permission. If you're choosing a floral blouse, look for the ones that feel like sunlight, soft, subtle, with colors that breathe. Avoid the heavy, loud patterns. Go for the ones that move when you move, that feel like they're telling your story with grace. Because sometimes, a tiny flower on your blouse isn't just decoration. It's a love letter from your past, reminding you that your spring never really left. It just learned how to bloom quietly. 6. The front tie, the movement of feminine grace. There's something special about a little knot, isn't there? Just a simple tie, right at the front, not loud, not showy, but it changes everything. It gives the blouse movement, like it's breathing with you. It's the kind of detail that catches the eye softly, the way a breeze catches a curtain. That tiny bow or knot creates a natural focal point. It draws attention not to your body, but to your energy. It says, I'm comfortable here, I'm centered. My friend Susan, 68, soft-spoken but with that quiet confidence that turns heads, used to say she didn't like clothes that called attention. Then one afternoon, we were shopping together, and she tried on this pale blue blouse with a small front tie, just a gentle knot at the waist. When she looked in the mirror, she smiled in that surprised way we do when something feels right. She said, it's like I'm not trying to look different, I just look like I finally exhaled. That's what this design does. It brings a sense of balance, a little weight where you want it, a little movement where you need it. It's feminine without being girly, graceful without being precious. And maybe that's why I love it so much. A front tie isn't about decoration. It's about ownership. It's about taking the threads of your story, all the twists, the turns, the losses, the joys, and tying them together, right where your heart is. So when you knot that blouse in the morning, think of it as a ritual. A small, elegant way of saying, I choose how my story looks today. 7. The off-shoulder, freedom, light, and the beauty of being alive. You know, it's funny. The shoulders, one of the few places time barely touches. And yet, they're often the first thing we start to hide. Maybe it's habit. Maybe it's modesty. Or maybe we just forgot how beautiful it feels to let sunlight touch our skin. The off-shoulder blouse, or even a soft, wide neckline, is more than a style. It's a moment. The moment your body remembers what freedom feels like. When the air brushes against your skin and you realize, I'm still here, I still feel, I still glow. My friend Diana, 66, always moving, always laughing, used to say, oh no, I don't wear anything off the shoulder. Not at my age. But one summer day, she tried on this simple white cotton blouse that just grazed the top of her shoulders. When she looked in the mirror, her eyes widened and she started laughing. I forgot how nice the sun feels, she said. And just like that, her posture changed. She stood taller. She moved lighter. It wasn't about showing skin, it was about remembering freedom. Because that's what this style really gives you, air, space, ease. It says, you've carried enough. You can let go a little now. So the next time the day is warm and the light is kind, let your shoulders breathe. Let the wind pass by. You don't have to prove youth, you just have to feel alive. And when you do, everyone around you will see it. That quiet radiance of a woman who has lived fully and still moves like sunlight belongs to her. 8. The lace blouse, the soft strength of maturity. You know, lace gets such a bad reputation. People think it belongs to youth, to weddings, to parties, to someone else's story. But that's not true. Lace is for a woman who's lived. Because lace isn't just decoration. It's a language, a pattern of memory woven into fabric. Every thread, every opening, every soft edge feels like a conversation between strength and gentleness. When you choose light lace, soft ivory, blush, champagne, you're not trying to look younger. You're saying, I don't need armor anymore. You're choosing softness over resistance, grace over defense. And that's what true confidence feels like. My friend Marianne, 70, elegant in that quiet, grounded way, used to tell me, I stopped wearing lace after 50. It felt too delicate. And I smiled and said, no, my dear, lace isn't delicate. It's resilient, just like you. A few weeks later, she showed up in a cream lace blouse, sleeves fluttering in the light. She didn't look younger, she looked lighter. And when she hugged me, she said, I feel like myself again, softer, but somehow stronger. That's what lace does. It reflects the kind of beauty that doesn't compete, it just exists. It whispers instead of shouts. It lets the world see the woman who has nothing left to prove. And everything left to feel. So don't save your lace for special occasions. Wear it on a Tuesday morning. Wear it while you're having coffee, or walking your dog, or reading by the window. Because light lace isn't about youth, it's about peace. And when you wear peace, you look eternally radiant. You know, after 60, we don't need clothes to prove our worth anymore. We dress well because we deserve to feel beautiful. Because beauty at this age isn't about chasing something new. It's about honoring what's already here. Every wrinkle is a story. Every freckle is a small signature of time. And every blouse, every color, every soft fabric we choose, is a quiet way of saying, I'm still here, I'm still shining. The truth is, style isn't about changing who you are. It's about remembering who you've become. Every time you get dressed, you're not just putting on clothes. You're putting on a piece of your history, your wisdom, your light. So as you close this video and maybe stand before your own mirror tonight, ask yourself, what's the one piece of clothing that still makes you feel alive? Is it that silk blouse you've had for years? The white shirt that always makes you stand taller? Or maybe something new that finally feels like you again? Tell me in the comments. Because I'd love to know what makes you feel beautiful today. And if this video inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Healthwise for seniors. Your support is the heartbeat of this channel. And together, we'll keep celebrating the kind of beauty that only time can create. Because remember, beauty isn't about having something new. It's about knowing how to keep what's truly yours.